What's up guys, it's Secretary back with another video and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the camera I've been using for the past half a year, which is the Canon 1200D. I've now upgraded to the Canon 70D, which I will be making a video on shortly. The size of the camera is pretty small, so I had to get a battery grip to make it bigger. It doesn't fit particularly well in the hand, and the build quality is not particularly good. It's made entirely out of plastic, and it does feel quite cheap in the hand. It is also very light, which is something I don't like very much about it, although the buttons do feel quite solid. The screen on the camera is pretty low resolution, but for photography it's quite fine because I don't really use the screen very much. I just use it to check my exposure, so it is pretty fine for photography. The menu system on the camera is quite good. It's as good as any other Canon menu system. It's very easy to use, very easy to find settings, and it is just very simple, and it's good for any beginner photographer. You can basically always find your settings. The viewfinder on the camera is pretty small, but it will be enough for most people, but I wouldn't call it professional level. One thing that sucks about this camera in video mode is there's no video autofocus, which sucks for videographers, but for photographers it doesn't really matter. And I mostly used this camera for photography, but now I've upgraded to 70D obviously, but it wasn't bad photography. It was a shame not to have video autofocus. The sensor size of the camera is an APS-C size crop, which is a 1.6 times crop, so you'll have to multiply the focal length of every lens you have by 1.6, which means you basically won't have as much blur in the background, but the 70D has the same, which you can probably tell I don't have that much blur in the background. They both have APS-C size sensors, but APS-C is fine for most photographers and videographers. The sensor is a 18 megapixel sensor though, which is pretty decent for 2019, and it has a max ISO range of 12,800, which is on high mode, although the dynamic range on the camera is pretty bad. The max burst rate of this camera is 3 frames per second, which is pretty slow, so I definitely wouldn't use this for any sport photography, but it is perfectly fine for any other photography needs apart from sport and wildlife. The max video resolution is 1080p at 30 fps, or you can do slow motion, well, semi-slow motion at 720p at 60 frames per second. So this camera is definitely not for slow motion, but it is perfectly fine for a YouTube starter camera. So who's this camera for? Well, this camera is for someone who's into photography, who has a budget of $250 for a used camera, and this camera is great for you. And that's how much I got the camera for. So I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you didn't, smash the dislike button. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Also remember to subscribe, it'll help out the channel a lot. See you guys next time.